Yo, welcome to another video. I'm going to be doing some reviews. I'm going to review Samurai Champloo and Cowboy Bebop. So I'm going to start with Samurai Champloo, since it was the first anime that I watched, and I'm going to go over what I loved about it because I just recently watched both these animes, so they're both very fresh in my mind. So with Samurai Champloo, the story is there's these three characters, Fu, Mugen, and Jean. Fu is a 15-year-old girl who is looking for a samurai who smells the sunflowers, and she goes on this journey with two bodyguards, which is Jean and Mugen, but those two want to kill each other because they want to. They don't really give a proper reason. It's just, well, Mugen thinks Jean's a badass, so that's why Mugen wants to kill Jean. So that's pretty much the story in a nutshell. They eventually do make it to the end of their journey, which again, the end of the journey got a lot of, oh, such a Hollywood ending. Oh, of course it would end like this. But to me, I would not ask for a different ending. That was the best ending, I think, because so much went on during those last three episodes that you can't just sit there and just dismiss something. It's like like, oh well, Fu is making it on her way to the island. Oh, sorry, stuff stuck in my nose. Ji and Mugen are fighting this guy who wants to kill them. Oh, another person's coming to try to kill Mugen. Oh, I mean, this three things were going on all at once, and it was just this big clusterfuck, and it was so well done because I could see a lot of directors, even myself included, as I work on Dead Zone, where they would get lost in that whole array of action and just spending their too much time on one thing. But with this, it's been equal amount of time on each character. It wasn't like, well, we're gonna spend half the episode talking about Jean today, and then next episode is gonna be Mugen, then last episode is gonna be Fu. Each episode had its own, it divided everything so equally that no one was getting kicked. I mean, I think Fu probably had the least amount of screen time in those last three episodes, but overall, it was pretty much all even. I mean that's not even by it's by a little. But anyways, the character development with Samurai Champloo, I think, is well done. As just the problem I had with it was when it deals with a big story, not story, like a big concept or development. Like for instance, you watch Misguided Miscreants, whatever. I think it's. I'm totally gonna look. This is so professional. It's gotta be okay. Misguided Miscreants, yeah, part one and two. When they were doing the character development for those parts, it just felt slow. Where it could have been a little more quicker and a little bit more impact, but not say that. Oh, these were terrible developments. I mean, it did what it had to do and did a good job at it. It's just there were parts that to me didn't feel like I needed to see, but it was. I mean, it wasn't something that, oh well, you could throw that out. I mean, it's just that they just kept going over this particular scene, which I didn't really. It was pretty much the scene when Mugen dies in that episode, where he's pretty much like being escorted on his way to heaven or hell, wherever you want to look at it. Uh, they have this music playing over it, and all these montages going on, and going back. Half the montages you don't really need. I would have rather have loved it if they just did a flashback with. They had flashback scenes. If they just focused on those flashback scenes, I think it would have been a better episode than just mixing in them with picture montages of stills, which I don't see the point. And you could say, well, it's done for artistic purpose or whatever. That's your opinion. Mine is just what I said. Uh, so why do I think it's better than Cowboy Bebop? The way that this Cowboy Bebop, don't get me wrong, it's a great anime. I really love Cowboy Bebop. I don't hate it, but the way that each episode is done by a very archaic, not archaic, but like very traditional episodic theme, which is just like, which to me the best way I could describe it, and I know someone's gonna kill me for this, but it felt like a episode of the week bounty of the week kind of formula where this week Spike and the gang is trying to catch this bounty this week. Next week is gonna be this, and is this kind of that formula? And you can say, well, that's the kind of show it is. Summer Champloo is different. I mean, of course they're different, of course, but you can always make small comparisons. It's just that I think that Summer Champloo is better in the sense that when you watch the final episode, you get so much reward for it. You get because you finally meet the spoiler, Fu's dad, and you see what happens at pretty much the last episode. It was just so rewarding because you've seen these characters go through so much just to find this character, and then when they finally find that character that they were desperately looking for, even you, the viewer, feels a sense of accomplishment. It's just like, oh, finally found this guy, and that is something that Cowboy Bebop to me doesn't have, because they don't really give an idea. I mean, Cowboy Bebop is when they want to focus on a character, they focus on it, and that's great. It's just you don't. Because there are some episodes that felt like that this character was on a journey, but they never gave you the idea that he was. Like, you just knew that their bottom line was just making money, just doing bounty heads and all that. But when you get to the last episode, I'm gonna try my best not to spoil it. When you get to the last, like the two-parter, at the end of the series, it just feels like, oh, he was doing this all along, but he wasn't really. I mean, it's just that to me just felt so much like, oh well, we should just add this for this reason. And I know that was not the whole majority of that episode, but it's just there were small things that kind of felt that way to me, and that's again, it's not bad. I mean, the way that Cowboy Bebop worked, it works fine, and it's a great anime. I would recommend it. Is there's some things in Cowboy Bebop that I just didn't like the episodic thing because with Samurai Champloo, each episode gave you more of an idea of what they're going to do and how they're going to find the Sunflower Samurai. Each thing in Samurai Champloo was key to each other. You couldn't go on any further without understanding what happened last time. And yeah, there are some episodes in Samurai Champloo you can easily just skip, but they still had enough story and enough stuff to hold you into that episode that you wouldn't just skip it. And it's same thing with Cowboy Bebop in some episodes, but there were just some that I just would not mind skipping. Like, I mean, the first disc had some good episode. I don't know. It's just there were things in Cowboy Bebop, especially with the character Faye. I did not like her at all in the beginning, where she was just kept coming and going as she pleased, and that to me left such a bitter taste that it was just like, why are they even bothering with her? They should just do whatever. I mean, that to me pissed me off, and I mean, yeah, like I started liking her by the time we got to Speak Like a Child. When we got to Speak Like a Child or My Funny Valentine, that's when she became a good character, and that's when I started liking her a little bit more than I did before. And I understand her character. I understand why she does what she does. I mean, especially with the Jupiter Jazz episodes. Those are really good episodes. And I mean, Cowboy Bebop is actually really one of the best animes. There was just some things here and there that I think could have been better. So that's it for Cowboy Bebop and Samurai Champloo. I mean, feel free to post what you think. I mean, I'm sure you're gonna disagree with me or agree with me, whatever you want. It says I like Samurai Champloo much more than Cowboy Bebop in what I just said in this whole video. I just, I mean, yeah, I've said enough, so I'm gonna end it here. Later.